welcome back to the LEC. You can see our adoring fans remain ever vigilant in the audience, although there does appear to be a little bit of fanatic bias there. They're not going to be playing this game. Instead, we're going to see MAD Lions versus Vitality, top of the standings, versus someone very close to the bottom of the table. But as with all of our matches, every game counts.
Yeah, the pressure is on, particularly for Vitality. When you see SK pick up more wins, when you see Excel climbing up the standings, it's kind of like SK just got a win over Rogue. Crap! Yeah. I have to be one of the best teams now.
As much as it sucks for Rogue to lose that game, the biggest loser is all the teams fighting SK right now, because I don't think you can get very many wins off Rogue. That said, Vitality, they get a win off MAD here. That would be massive. And for MAD, it's an opportunity to have sole control of first place heading into the final week where they will face Rogue. That is massive.
And reminder, if MAD Lions finish the split in first place, they automatically qualify to Worlds. So this is their opportunity to really put some space between them and Rogue.
And how many times have we seen the rookie roster to World stories come to fruition in Europe? Have to see if it can happen again for MAD Lions. But for now, they have to focus on getting through Vitality. The Bard and the Kha'Zix both banned away, limiting some powerful champions. The Volibear to follow. The Sona gonna hit the bench as well. Do not want to see MAD Lions try that one again.
I feel like you pick up the Orianna here now as the easy blind pick answer. Yep.
And of course, would make sense for a lot of teams, but most certainly for Humanoid, as he appears to be the best Orianna in our league overall.
Although recently, the last two games from Humanoid have been a little bit shaky. It kind of felt like he came out pretty like hot and heavy in the first few weeks and was just like, I'm the best mid laner now. Bing, bang, bam. And now his last two games were like, remember, I'm still Humanoid. I can run it down still. So I hope to see the return to best mid laner Humanoid rather than the occasional end Humanoid.
Occasionally caught out Humanoid. Of course, good tools to catch him out in the form of some Caitlyn traps as well as a Sett, which we assume at this point to go into the jungle. Technically still a flex pick, but another game of Caitlyn is exciting for me. Obviously buffs to her base move speed as well as her base AD, but really that base move speed the most important thing. MAD Lions, though, going to respond with the Ezreal. A little bit of safety there, but definitely a champion who is going to get outranged on at least pure auto attacks early on.
Which is why the initial lane phase is going to be really important for Ezreal, because after first base versus this Caitlyn, he's got nothing.
Ooh, yeah, the actual nightmare. She goes back for pickaxe, you go back for tier. That's lane over.
I mean, if they both go back for pickaxe, that's not so bad. But if he comes back with tier and she goes back with BF sword, that's like the nightmare scenario.
So a big question then is going to be wave management and exactly how they can make this one work. Because if you can get both to back for pickaxe at the same time, maybe you can make it work.
Don't worry, Drakos, I'll walk us through it in the game. Talking about Shadow on Trundle, we assume again that's going to be the Trundle jungle. It has decent gank access, especially at you guys can't see it, but there's something ridiculous happen. Can I get a pip?
You can't have a pip. I was having trouble waking up, so I asked my producer
to slap him.
To slap me. So apologies, I was a little sloppy last game, but now I'm wide awake. And we're going to get things kicked off. So, okay, so Thresh coming out, Trundle, of course. Not my favorite pick to see Shadow on. Obviously, we all love to see Lee Sin, and with it up and available, I was kind of hoping that that's what we'd see here. But I guess with the set on the table, he wanted to have something a little bit tankier to match. The Blitzcrank banned away, I do like, especially when there's no Morgana to pair the Caitlyn with. And it does feel like Team Vitality have just gotten an overall powerhouse bot lane in exchange for pretty much just the Orianna is the S-tier pick that I would consider MAD Lions to have secured.
There's still a lot of great team fight potential, though. Yes, Caitlyn has great range, but Orianna can ruin a lot of things by placing out the ball and trying to zone her away. Caitlyn can get away around it, but it takes a lot longer for her to ramp up, whereas I feel like MAD Lions still have a lot of really strong picks on 2 items. So they could potentially hit Team Vitality before you see the crazy damage that Crown Shot was doing on the previous one.
Could. And of course, this is interesting. They are going to opt to lock in the LeBlanc. LeBlanc, I feel like, from talking to Ender about it earlier backstage, very similar to Zoe and what she provides, but a little bit more reliable burst damage in exchange for a lot less safety, despite the fact that this distortion always feels like it's safe. It's not quite as good as perfect Zoe positioning, throwing a sleepy trouble bubble through the terrain. So see what Milica can do on this champion. Obviously a huge opportunity for him to carry in this matchup.
I think the issue is that he's still against an Orianna, so it's not necessarily about his 1v1 matchup. It's about getting out to those side lanes and trying to snowball from there, and then also playing a poke-oriented composition. It's Caitlyn LeBlanc, the human Nidalee spear and the human headshot.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of bursts, and definitely a difficult game for a Humanoid. And as you mentioned, he's been having performances recently where he has been getting caught out more, and certainly this is a game where there are a lot of tools on Team Vitality to just one-shot you through every stage of the game between the Caitlyn, the LeBlanc, and the Thresh. So has to be exceptionally careful here, but now we have the final pick locked in for the side of MAD Lions. It will be the Nautilus, and this is a surprisingly tame MAD Lions composition.
Yeah, this is probably like the most standard comp that you can ever see, and with kind of the full composition revealed that it's Gangplank up into the top side, there's a last-minute adjustment from Team Vitality, getting Skeanz his comfort pick of that Lee Sin. You now have a very strong mid-jungle in LeBlanc, Lee Sin. The kill pressure there is now pretty massive, regardless of Orianna having a shield or not. So keep your eyes there.
And ready to see especially what Cabochard can do here on the top side of the map. Not as often these days that we see the Sett top lane, but a champion that can really be obnoxious to deal with, can bully out if he gets a lead going, very similar to what we expect from a champion like Renekton. And MAD Lions, a lot more safety, a lot more scaling, see if they can match the early game that Team Vitality are bringing to the table, because they just have so many tools to get plays kicked off. Will we see another upset, another team vying for first place, taken out by a team fighting just to get into playoffs? You're going to have to find out. MAD versus Vitality coming at you. And here we are, onto the, what? Oh, it's pool party. It's a Chrome of pool party. I was like, what is going on? Skeanz team, calm down. All right, here we are, MAD Lions versus Vitality. Of course, coming into this game, MAD Lions, no doubt the heavy favorites. No one would argue with that, but I do feel like Vitality have so many tools to get things kicked off in the early game. From what we saw from SK, it was a similar story last game, but much less about the Dragons. I feel like for Vitality, much more about kind of hitting people with their skills and killing them.
I mean, yeah, I think all eyes, again, are still going to be on Skeanz and Milica, at least for the early portion of the game, to make this combination work for them. I think Skeanz was a player who lost a lot of confidence the first time he came into the LEC and then had to go back into the LFL to build that confidence back up while NG took his spot. Helped provide direction, shot calling, a voice for this Vitality roster. As you can see, 5 and 9 on the top of your scoreboard, right on the cusp of being in the conversation for talking for playoffs. But now that Skeanz seems to have found his stride and found his confidence, he's back on the Lee Sin, he's back in the game, and now this game is really back in his hands. I really want to see kind of these two younger, newer players, a rookie in Milica, really step up here and try to take over this early game before MAD Lions kind of get to their big 5v5 powerhouse that they're so good at individually.
Yeah, team fighting is the strength that we've always consistently credited MAD Lions for alongside their Ingenuity, and now with a much more, I won't say standard composition, but a much less, let's say, explosive composition. Perhaps going to have to rely on that team fighting a little bit more as we see some decent trading back and forth here in the mid lane. But inevitably, if we're looking at Skeanz, we have to look a little bit at Shadow as well and kind of identify where he's going to be going. Both junglers, some interesting pathing. Shadow going for much more standard, clear one side, go to the other side, whereas Lee Sin appears to be making a beeline for the bottom lane, or at least the bottom scuttle, by going for red into Wolves now as well into the blue.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to take advantage of the fact that Comp and Labrov have naturally the push priority there, so he can contest into the river a bit more. He's also backed up by Milica, who has the push on the LeBlanc. So let's talk about kind of the trade pattern that you want to see from Carzzy and Kaiser here. There's also the potential that a gank happens. Oh no, Labrov didn't ward fast enough. Oh no!
Walk forward. Shadow already level 3, can't step in. Lee Sin can come down though. Shadow stays for too long, but now it's Caitlyn who's been isolated. Caitlyn who's been left alone, and Carzzy's not afraid to flash in aggressively. One more Q is all that matters. Can he let it? No! Ticking, burning, comp. One sidestep saves his life. One sidestep keeps the laning dream alive. No TP though for the Caitlyn means he will lose something here, but because the cannon wave is already pushed in, MAD Lions cannot get that wave fast enough under the tower. So all things considered, what could have been the end of this Caitlyn laning phase is is heavily mitigated.
No, that's still really, really bad. Okay, so what I was just going to talk about is how Ezreal and Nautilus actually want to play this lane hyper-aggressive because they want to make Caitlyn take a bad back. Ezreal is one of those champions that he can take multiple backs and has more versatility in his itemization. He doesn't just have to come back with the tier. He doesn't just have to come back with the pickaxe. You know, he can try to pivot, whereas Caitlyn is basically coming back with boots and, like, I guess I can try to sidestep more of these hooks, maybe. It's not, like, terrible, but,
Oh, going in, though. Skeanz. We want to see 2v2 jungle power, and Skeanz has already taken down Humanoid, but now Shadow wants to bite out of the LEC the blind monk for breakfast. Shadow got to be happy with that one, but already blood across the rift, Froskurinn.
Well, also the flash, I'll cover that in a second. Back to bot lane, though. Just a small mistake from Labrov. Just literally 3 seconds late on placing that ward in the tri-bush. Could have completely denied any of that.
But the good, like, really the best news is, because I'm so with you on just trying to maximize the value of Ezreal's early damage output, not just letting yourself get poked down. Hold that thought as Milica will dash out, is he only gets to buy a Cole. So it's not the Sheen back, which most certainly would have been catastrophic for that laning phase. Instead, it's just the Cole. As now we get to take a look mid lane. Shadow doesn't appear to have any intent to move into the mid lane, but the second he sees Skeanz, he's going to shift his pathing over. A good pillar, but does not interrupt the Sonic Wave the way he wanted to, so Skeanz will still grab the kill there in exchange for his life.
Yeah, naturally the nice thing there was the fact that Milica was able to connect the chains, had a really nice angle from the top brush, so no shenanigans there, and then once the chain came in, it was very easy for Skeanz to just be very patient with the Sonic Wave and make sure he connected there. So cleanly done mechanically from both Skeanz and Milica.
And in the meantime, I thought Orome was going to have to back there, but it looks like he will stick around. A bit of a risky proposition, but Cabochard not really need dive pressure quite yet. Just trying to make sure he can deny as much CS as possible here.
They see Lee Sin on a
big damage!
No!
Yeah, I got the oranges. It's going to be okay.
I clinch. They see Skeanz on a ward, so I think that's why Orome feels really confident, especially with Shadow, who was on the top side, is now pathing bot.
So hook will land. And it's also very important that he doesn't give up his TP advantage, so the fact that he gets to wait to back there is going to be huge. As yet another chain connects from Milica. This time, though, no Lee Sin in the area to follow up, so Vitality potentially have pinched themselves in here. Skeanz obviously can leap out to safety, but a lot of low health bars from the mid laner, and Skeanz getting lower and lower as well. Still will be able to grab the dragon, but now Shadow into the pick. The hook does land. Skeanz gonna get taken out, but who's next on the list? Labrov, TP coming in from Cabochard. Cabo can't just come right over the wall. Kaiser's gonna try to flash to safety, but surprise, surprise, here comes the boss. 1-2 punch. Gonna try to go forward with the haymaker. Milica, no hesitation to flash over for the follow, but Kaiser, a little spider knot action to take him out to safety. He's got the blast gun too. Kaiser, you absolute mad lad. Oh, no! Milica can't get it. The thumbs up, the disrespect, you love to see it.
And I would say something cheesy like, that's why he's the mid-season MVP, but no, that was actually just a good escape. Thank you, observers, for showcasing us that while all of that happened, oh no, it's still going.
Well timed there from Cabo to use a haymaker.
Oh my god, it's still going!
One more auto, comp. Got him.
Okay, while all of that has happened, the good news for MAD Lions is that Orome used to teleport back into the lane, which is why he couldn't follow Cabochard's TP into the fight, and has gotten multiple waves and gold and plates into him. The bad news, if you're a MAD Lions fan, is that Vitality basically got everything else. They got the Drake, they picked up a bunch of kills, they forced some summoner spells. It basically looks great for them on the bottom side of the map.
So, there's an item that you told me that if Caitlyn got
it's a BF sword.
the lane sword would be, yeah, okay, fine. Ruin the, I was gonna tell it in the long story. Fun.
No, it's fine.
Caitlyn has a BF sword, Ezreal only has a tier now, so this is probably the worst possible thing that could happen to Carzzy. And while the fight initially looks all right, Cabo with a great TP to turn it back.
Yeah, I do want to remind people that in the MAD Lions versus Fnatic game, they did this exact same thing, except Shadow got away with it. He stole the Drake, I think in the Trundle versus Graves matchup, and also killed Selfmade, if I remember correctly.
Suplex? Play back?
Why is this still happening?
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Just can't okay, MAD Lions? That's not allowed. You can't keep getting out like that.
How much health?
Observers, you can ping me. You can scream it in my ear if you need to. How much HP left? I gotta know. Or give us a dramatic anime replay. Either option is completely fine. But regardless, that is the second time in a row.
I feel like we can't go into replays anymore because every time we come out of it, a fight happens, and I'm confused about how we got here.
Yeah, that's pretty much 100% of this game. How did we get here? Okay, so before Humanoid almost died, what we were talking about... Oh, okay, there you go, replay. One more time.
Suplexed. But the hook doesn't...
Double
oh,
play.
no. Flay didn't connect, nor did hook. That was a big whoopsies.
No, I think he synced Flay with Face Breaker, so you just didn't get really value out of the CC there. And then boopity, boopity, 2! It was 1. He goes to 1. It's been confirmed as 1. He goes to... It was 1. Oh, my...
Is that the second time he's gone?
Oh, no! Not again! Not again! Labrov says no!
Okay.
You might live in impossible situations twice, but you will not get away for it for a third time.
Godspeed anyone actually trying to VOD review this game. Any of the analysts who like want to go back and check any of the resets or whatever, because we keep coming out of replays into fights. There's no way. You can't do anything with this game.
First rule of Fight Club is you don't analyze Fight Club. You just fight again and again. Okay, and how is... Here's the difference. The SK game was slow, it was about Drakes. The Vitality game we said was going to be a little bit more about killing people, a little bit more about jungle mid synergy, and this has certainly been an explosive and bloody game. Now the downside is while Cabochard has not been spending a lot of time topside, Orome has just been farming up, and you're starting to see a massive difference in gold right there. 15,000, just between 15,000. 1,500, just between Cabo and Orome.
Yeah, but the thing is that while Gangplank is going to be a really big deal, he's not going to be a big deal for a while. Obviously on the completion of the Trinity Force, but it really is about level 13 when he has the ability to pop down barrels, chain them together effectively, that Gangplank gets a lot of his team fighting power when he joins up with his team. So while Orome will be a big deal, it's a big deal eventually. It's a big deal when he's grouped up with his team and he can use those barrel trick plays. For now, Vitality are still feeling really good despite the fact that Orome has gotten all this free time.
And they're going to continue to feel good because we're still not really seeing major item completions come in from Humanoid or from Carzzy. As he's opted for the tier path for Orianna, it does mean that it's just going to be slower. It's going to be more about scaling. And as Caitlyn's going back and she's going to buy another AD item on top of boots
no,
too.
we have to talk about this. There's a lot that's going sideways here with Labrov's Thresh. He's not having a great Thresh game.
Because he didn't hook the Scuttle Crab?
He also missed a Humanoid in that last fight. Okay, Humanoid dodged him, as did the Scuttle Crab.
Look, all right, so I'm with you. The scoreboard says one thing, we're going to hold that thought. With anytime you try to talk, there's going to be a fight. That's just rule number 1. They will manage to retreat on that one pillar into the flash, along with Nimbus Cloak will ferry him out to safety. So the scoreboard says decent. I agree, some missed hooks, but in his defense on the mid lane play, Cabo also face breakered at the same time he flayed. So maybe I'm going to say poor team communication instead of bad hands. We'll keep track. Okay. Bad hands or poor team communication. Maybe we get a lane minion. We'll find out. Get a Twitch vote. We'll see. That said, Froskurinn, this is not what I expected from this matchup. I expected a little bit more dominance from our first place team for MAD Lions. That said, maybe they do turn it here with a fight as Comp Labrov are stepping very far forward. Now we've got the TP from Milica.
We have recently seen some cracks in the armor from MAD Lions. You know,
most certainly.
Dominance hasn't looked that great in the last few weeks as they do chase Vitality off of Drake. Hook
lands.
Got that one.
Great hands. Kaiser now in trouble. One more auto. Caitlyn wants to ult, but knows that Ezreal just blocked. Nerf Nautilus.
No, nerf MAD Lions.
Okay. If he had 10 less HP. This time, no one gets out. Kick. Finish the job, Skeanz. There it is.
Thank you.
Finally, someone. Don't leave food on your plate, okay? Basic table manners.
That's what they are. They're just crumbs. They're like when you lay down in bed and you're just like, you feel bread crumbs.
Yeah, you're like, how did these get here? This is the worst feeling of all time.
Ugh, gross. Okay, let's take
stock. Reminder, this is not two top teams playing against each other. This is MAD Lions, who are currently 11-3 and have an option to be 12-3, the undisputed #1 team in the league, at least in terms of standings.
They don't look like the undisputed #1.
No, they most certainly do not. For Vitality, they most certainly do not look like the 9th best team in the league. So the standings might be a little bit misleading, still crucial for playoffs, but the eye test is showing us a different story.
And the item test is a big part of that. The only thing that is really going well for MAD Lions here is Orome up into this top lane, who is just ruining Cabochard's life. It's going to get a little bit better when he gets more armor to his name. So right now, only with ninja tabbies and a single little cloth armor, he's not having a good time. I have an idea that it's probably going to be a chain vest that comes out next.
Oh, the full tank build.
He's going to go Sunfire.
Sunfire? Not Dead Man? Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's what I'm curious to see exactly what he wants to go for here. But for Orome, I'm loving the Swifties adaptation here because I just don't feel like Sett can ever 100% commit to you when you have Swifties. Because he's also running Fleet and not Phase Rush, so he gets one little burst of movement speed when he hits you the first time, and then after that he's just He's big and he's slow.
I think it's to help him also against Orome and deal with some of the chipping or whittling away that a Gangplank can do against you. And there we go. The Bommies Cinder, as well as the Chain Vest. I need to hold it though because Vitality are sitting up for a big dive on Carzzy.
Will they finish the job or will someone escape with 5 health? Find out now on the current episode of MAD versus Vitality. Cabochard running in, looking for a frisky little dunk. He is going to get hooked back. They're going to suplex it back into Carzzy. Carzzy kick back into the suplex. They want to finish it on Carzzy. Not going to let him get away this time. They're burning the extra flash. Now they got the follow-up. The chain's connected. Kaiser goes down. In the meantime, he really going to try to grab some plates, but not a good exchange for the MAD Lions. Fantastic dive for Vitality.
But the thing is that the MAD Lions should have seen that coming. Vitality are doing a good job pressing on the gas, making sure that they're constantly getting people unlocked from the lane. We talked about the strong mid-jungle duo between these guys and constantly blitzing at Carzzy and Kaiser. And Carzzy and Kaiser's responsibility here is to not be dove. They are defensive Ezreal with the ability to have so much movement speed, and diving Nautilus can be a massive problem because of so much CC riddled in his kit. But Vitality are breaking that in half anyway.
And I like that Cabochard is just continuously willing to sacrifice himself, because going bot right now, right when you get Ludens, right when you have IE for Kate, is just, oh, it's a thing of beauty. You just do so much damage. You're just so far ahead of your respective opponents. And now for Carzzy, it's just going to be a survival game for a while.
Taking another look at this one. Again, the basically nice little airplane there. Excuse me, landing strip. A vision for Vitality to be able to walk down here without being spotted. They have so many control wards, but even if you don't see them coming, you can tell from MAD Lions that they knew that this was going to be a possibility. Gangplank ultimate goes down, it's fine, doesn't hit anyone. I will say this, Labrov hits that flay right there on Carzzy, which was nice, but does whip the hook.
I feel like you're out for Bud on our boy Labrov here. Just a little bit, just a little bit. I feel like you gotta cut him some slack. He's hitting all the CC on the targets that are already slowed. It's just the raw hooks that he's not connecting. But you do, in this league of very many talented support Thresh players, want to see some people hit the raw hooks. The completely 100%
raw.
Without any setup CC, you're right. Questionable terminology.
I see.
Yeah, because like it's very easy to hit hook on a target that's already slowed by like, I don't know, 20, 30%.
You mean like to hit a flay on a target that's already CC'd?
Okay, well, you know, all right. Maybe it's not the easiest defense of my life, but I still feel like 104, he's feeling good. He's where he needs to be to set up these plays. It's not perfect accuracy, but we take those. And especially we take those against MAD Lions, because the 2K gold lead at 15 minutes is a good thing to have. And of course, scaling for a composition with an Orianna and a GP is always going to be a big deal, but if Vitality can keep pushing their lead, MAD Lions might not get the chance to scale into late game.
But Vitality are actually really late to this reset here. You can see that the Ocean is spawning in 19 seconds. Wow.
They're just going to give up that gold?
MAD Lions, I think, have assumed that they're already on it or already setting up because they don't actually see where Vitality are right now.
Oh, throwing the ball in. Labrov, hook, does not connect. Ooh, pulls back Comp, though. Comp now going to be able to make it out. The Nautilus assault does connect. Labrov there to body block any potential follow-up, and Cabochard on the backside. Here we go. Where the suplex at? Where the showstopper? Humanoid? Is he going to get sacrificed here? Humanoid, of course, with no ultimate. They can look to extend this fight. Shadow going to take a bit of poke there from the Caitlyn ult, but not nearly as much damage as I expected, and MAD Lions will walk away, so all things considered, not going to be too bad, as they also managed to pressure onto the top side. However, they are in no position now to contest this Drake, as the Herald is also going to go down mid. So while MAD Lions, I like that they were proactive, they are going to give up a lot in exchange.
They're just very confused.
What? I'm very confused. Milica, why are you there?
He was trying to stop the backs. I mean, yeah, he dies, but I actually think job well done. That means that the Herald's going to get a really big charge on this tower. Milica may have actually just traded his life for mid. He did.
He did. And suddenly, the 2K gold lead is now maintained for Vitality's into the tier 2 drops, but they've also managed to grab themselves a Drake, and even more gold into the pocket of a champion like Caitlyn, as well as a champion like Lee Sin. Skeanz ticking over to level 11, to the level 9 of Shadow. So all things considered, outside of Orome, everything is going great for Vitality right now.
Okay, so the thing is that MAD Lions didn't expect Vitality to be there. What they thought was going to happen was, okay, we can't fight for the Drake right now. We don't see where Vitality are. So instead of face checking into the blind, we're going to go up to Orome and we're going to play around our strong member. And then walking up to Orome, they ran into Skeanz, who then brought them the rest of Vitality. And then we ended up in this bizarre fight where MAD Lions were like, I guess we're fighting over an empty Raptor camp right now. And then Vitality got kind of like the next play on them by having access to the Herald. And now things have started to slowly collapse for MAD Lions, but that was wild.
Wait. Oh my God.
That was close.
That was close. Ooh, that could have been good. 20 HP. Thank you, Unzo. Thing of beauty. Just barely able to lock that one down. A lot of close smites today. What was it, 32 HP in the previous game?
I was going to say a lot of missing smites today.
Yeah, potato. Mistake, outplay, who knows?
I just tripped.
You tripped into the protective COVID barrier. Luckily it's there, or we would have both just fallen over completely. Thank you, Riot.
Protecting us in multiple ways.
Stopping us from actually just physically attacking each other during the cast.
Have you ever just face planted into a wall that didn't, like, was all...
A little loosey-goosey today in the old LEC. Cabochard won't connect on the playback, and Vitality continuing to look to extend their advantages. It's only 18 minutes. There's no Baron on the table. Even if there was, they couldn't really look to take it. Cabochard, though, going to be in trouble. He's pulled back. He's hooked. He's going to go through a big haymaker. Looks like he buffered the input there. That's why it came out late as he was retreating, and he does manage to grab the Lantern.
They're starting to get stalled out a little bit, though. So what MAD Lions are doing is, again, they're trying to stop the bleeding here and rotate their carries to the necessary waves. You can see that Humanoid with the teleport was on the top side of the map. Orome's TP has just come off a cooldown. Maybe it was still there. I don't know. It's on your side of the
it's on
plexiglass barrier. And starting to get him closer to the needed itemization. Now, he is still pretty far away from that. I think it's kind of like 2 items to 3 items that MAD Lions will feel confident to approach these fights again, whereas Vitality are really strong right now. So these Drakes, pressuring these towers, finding these picks, that's what Vitality want to continue to do, whereas MAD Lions want to go into their jungle, clear out all of the vision, create very safe farm lanes for them to walk to, and continue to just try to funnel or hoover farm into Ori and Carzzy's waiting hands. And the other thing that we talked about was the level 13 for Orome. He now has that, and this Gangplank actually has a lot of team fight power now, as well as a Death Stance and the Trinity Force available to him. So maybe that's the light at the end of the tunnel for MAD Lions, and they can start turning around some of these fights.
I think the story, however, remains as we look at the mid-game. Early game is obviously a lot about Skeanz. He can still be a big playmaker, but I do have my eyes on Milica because you talk about level 13 for Gangplank, level 13 for the LeBlanc, as well as double flat pen items. So big burst damage potential here. Will be harder to take out a target like Humanoid as he has completed the Seras, but Carzzy still potentially very vulnerable. And the GP, while difficult to kill most certainly with the Death Stance, another target that if he blows up, all of MAD Lions' gold deficit just doubles or triples in size.
Orome actually hiding in Fog of War here, so MAD Lions know that there's a potential that they get flanked here, and they've pulled their top laner closer. Vitality now finally have eyes on Orome as he walks over that ward that's underneath. Thank you, observers.
But overall, just a good heads-up play from MAD Lions, pushing in for a bit of an advantage, not overcommitting. You can see that Vitality are very hungry to push their lead out, trying to find these flanks, having Milica, Skeanz, Cabo all walk up from the flank, but MAD Lions here with enough diligence, enough patience to not overcommit for the objective and to simply walk away rather than getting baited into another fight.
And Vitality are also doing a really good job setting up this tower or siege here. Oh, Orome.
And this is kind of the big problem, Frosco, is that because Orome got ahead of the clock, is that his wave clear is much greater than it would be in other GP situations. So basically, between him and the Ori, they can't really siege a tower right now.
Yeah, and what Orome's doing is he's stalling out Vitality. What, that was 4 or 5 members of Vitality that were pushing a wave into Orome here, and it's just wasting so much of their time.
Oh, but if they pick off the jungler, that's going to be big. 21 minutes, the Baron is up. We got 16 seconds till the Dragon. Could be just 3rd Drake coming over for Vitality.
The one mistake that the MAD Lions could not make was a pick like that. So Vitality have just been really trying to force the plays around this bot side jungle, finally get something for their fishing, and you already talked about Drakos. It now gives them their 3rd Drake. The only silver lining for MAD Lions fans is that they have denied at least 1 Drake, so it won't be the Soul, deciding being the 4th one.
Yeah, just have to remember that Ocean Soul, unlike the previous game where Soul didn't feel nearly as crucial, is going to be massive for these teams. Not being able to burst out a LeBlanc because of the healing she's going to get from this Ocean Soul is incredibly frustrating to deal with, as well as comp essentially being... Oh, it's just, Ocean is so strong. Ocean is just so ridiculously strong. So, cannot afford to make another mistake like that. Of course, Shadow isn't playing Lee Sin. He's on Trundle. He's very... I mean, yeah, he's just a very immobile champion. So if he does get caught out, it's very hard for him to do anything back in response. And he's also level 10. As we mentioned before, gold is being funneled into the carries, which means that Shadow's not getting a lot of his own jungle. He's building supportive items to help support or to help push his carries even further ahead in the game. But that means that he's a very squishy troll.
And what's interesting is that he had the opportunity to take the Lee Sin. You know, he saw the Caitlyn set and he opted into the Trundle jungle, and it was Skeanz that actually picked after him, taking away the Lee Sin. So, you know, usually when Lee Sin is left open, we normally see Shadow snap grab that one. Maybe felt confident that if you are against a Caitlyn and a Sett, that having something like a Trundle pillar can disrupt a lot of what those champions want to do. Maybe it was MAD Lions, not necessarily experimenting with their style, because we've seen Shadow pull up the Trundle before, but, you know, a different look for them when they can usually just grab that Lee Sin and have one of the greatest Lee Sin players in the world on the Rift.
And interesting because, I mean, obviously you're playing against something tankier, so it's nice to have the Trundle ability to suck the stats away from Sett, and maybe it's just, Caitlyn obviously is considered a mobile AD carry because of 90 caliber net, but it's a pretty slow animation, so maybe he's comfortable enough on Trundle to just pillar it in response to deny that and kind of trap her in. That said, they also got the Thresh, so it just feels really hard to find that perfect setup unless the immediate follow-up is there from the MAD Lions. Cabochard, though, remains one of the weakest members of the team overall and is just getting absolutely bullied here on the side lane.
Yeah, and that's, of course, because of the lack of MR. You can see that Cabo's trying to find something to deal with Humanoid's damage, but right now just has the null cloak to his name, and Humanoid is really abusing him for it. Now, the rest of MAD Lions are doing a good job while Humanoid's ducking and diving under this tower.
Back, one auto suplex back, taking him out of tower range. Cabochard's going to be in trouble. One more auto. He's got a lot of health regen here, but Humanoid just finishes him off, and really well played by Humanoid. You cannot just throw all your damage at Sett, or he turns it right back around on you with the true grit, or with the grit coming through on that passive, so just slowly chipping away at him made sure that Cabo could never get the kill back.
And a huge credit to the rest of MAD Lions. Shadow was constantly guarding the entrance to the river to make sure that Humanoid had full information that he could get away with that. And then also the trust in Humanoid that he could find the 1v1 kill, because if Shadow goes down there, immediately Vitality turn onto the Baron, and so MAD Lions wanted to make sure that their jungler was hovering around the mid lane to dissuade Vitality from any sort of attempt there. So really nice cross-map communication and execution from this squad, who have effectively pumped the brakes on a game that Vitality were running away with.
Because, yeah, now when we look at the side lane setups here, Frosco, we've got, you know, pretty much 1-3-1, both teams putting their 3 in the mid lane, and LeBlanc has a really hard time one-comboing GP. It's just not really going to happen. She needs backup to find that kill. Sett essentially can't lane against anyone comfortably at this point in the game, and that means despite the lead that Vitality had built for themselves, it's really fallen away this game. There's just not a lot left for them right now. Lane matchups are hard. Picks obviously still very much a possibility, but in terms of raw power, raw damage output, I feel like MAD are very quickly pulling ahead.
And you can see that in the gold difference. You know, that lead that Vitality had, that big orange spot, Orome basically ate that all up. And then while Orome is distracting all of Vitality, it was Humanoid that was picking up all of these side waves, kind of increasing his own individual lead. And now, we said it, the shoe is on the other foot. MAD Lions are feeling very powerful, and it feels bad for Vitality. They've been trying to figure out how to solve this puzzle, and they just can't get the last piece to stick in.
And this is kind of one of the reasons why I feel like it's so hard to play LeBlanc right now, is because you look at this early Void Staff itemization, and you'd much rather have a Death Cap, but because Death Stance is just such a universally good item for the carry threats on the opposing side, you have to build magic penetration, and that really sucks, because you would rather have the flat AP. Of course, this is still going to be a lot of good damage, but it does make it difficult to be in a situation where you can just instantly pop something.
But with that, time is up. So we talked about how MAD Lions are going to feel more comfortable to fight. That is definitely not going to help inspire confidence. Oh. Here's the TP from Cabochard, very deep behind them. This is for the soul.
Who's he going to go for? Calm taking a big chunk. Milica trying to fish for something. He's going to go and he's going to take Humanoid back. Humanoid with no ultimate as well. They're going to pull down. That's the shutdown. Labrov going to grab that one. Ooh, good ult coming across, though. Orome here as well. I don't think they can go straight for the soul yet. They have the 5v4, but still, MAD are just so powerful here. They're going to instantly delete this wave, and they can't find another pick. Well, they've got access for now. This mid lane has evened out. They're going to try to clear a bit of vision here. Cannot afford to overextend. Hook will land, but it's just traded hook for hook, and now Carzzy's raining down hell. Kaiser will get taken down, but Skeanz now kicking it back to the midst of the team. Carzzy's still alive. Carzzy running for his life. The body block coming through. Orome and Shadow there to protect him. But now it's the Ocean Drake, the Ocean Soul, set in the sights of Vitality. Can they take this objective? It will be massive. We'll get them right back in the game. The evened up gold lead. Not going to be nearly as tough to deal with, but they have to be quick on this one. Humanoid has TP. He can come back to the fight. Shadow coming over the wall, flashing to the pit. Cabochard going to try to zone him out, but still, Shadow here. Shadow wants to step forward, but no, Vitality have the discipline. They pulled off, but they're going to burst the jungler first. Now, Humanoid TPing in, big barrel damage, but that's the Ocean Soul. Now, Humanoid gets caught on a trap as he runs in, and oh no, Vitality just get everything.
But a huge play from Cabochard to make sure that he deleted Humanoid at the start of the fight. beautifully done with the vision game from Vitality. He finds the deep ward, he grabs Humanoid, delivers him perfectly, and then at that point it was just protect President Carzzy, but Carzzy didn't have the range or the safety to try to contest against a Caitlyn and a LeBlanc.
Well,
very nicely done from Vitality.
And one of the members who has been struggling is Carzzy. He's 60 CS down, so while Humanoid's been getting a ton of gold, while Orome's been getting a ton of gold, when Humanoid dies, Carzzy doesn't actually have that much damage, especially when you look across at his opposition. You see Comp with 3.5 items now. Last Whisper completed. Vitality are looking very terrifying to deal with. One more pick like that, one more team fight where MAD aren't 100% positioned correctly, and this game will most certainly be Vitality's.
And it's going to get even easier, like you said, with that Ocean Soul. The Power Trough for Caitlyn, she has climbed successfully out of it with the 2 Zeal items, and now she can definitely apply kill pressure to Kaiser and Shadow with the armor penetration there. So as long as Vitality are patient, play the game and the fight slowly, or play around Comp, it should be pretty easy pickings for them for now. Humanoid still just shy of his death cap, sitting on 2 needlessly large rods. That's kind of the last big push for itemization for Orianna, whereas obviously Kaiser's trying to grab hold of the, not Kaiser, excuse me, Carzzy is trying to grab hold of the Death Stance. So used to seeing Carzzy play support. Maybe that's why he's down in CS. He's like, I haven't had to do this in so long.
The difficulty of MAD Lions. You're never going to know who has the CS in the games to come. But Vitality now all grouped up mid. I was surprised to see them just give up the tier 2, but obviously didn't feel comfortable contesting against the 5 stack of MAD Lions. And now they've got just about full control of the pit. You can see the vision well highlighted here by the observers.
I think they're going to give it up.
Well, I don't know if Vitality really want to 100% start this. They've got Blade of the Ruined King on Cabo. They can't clear it reasonably quickly, but they don't have any of the traditional champions that really shred a Baron. Kate on 3 items should be enough, but Vitality, I think, we're really hoping to find a pick here. Instead, they are going to take their time, 100% clear out the vision. The downside is they've now given MAD Lions the time to reset and buy their items. That's the death cap and the death stance now coming in. So whereas before it didn't feel like MAD Lions could really contest them, the fights are going to be much smoother now for the MAD lineup. Hook going to connect on Labrov. Labrov going to get the hook back. Just going to be a trade, but the Thresh is now in trouble. Decent damage coming in from Comp on the backside. Neither team wants to kick things off too quickly. Shadow's used his ult a little bit early, but of course it does start the Zeke's convergence, which means Carzzy's going to deal a lot more damage. Orome, pistol to the face for Cabochard. He's going to have to back away from this one, but Labrov caught out. That's going to be the support taken down. With Thresh gone, Kate's much more vulnerable. Immediately, they turn on Kate, knowing the Thresh lantern isn't there. They've isolated. They've taken him out of the fight. Milica on the backside, though. Skeanz, what can he actually get done? He's just getting shredded. He's just getting cut through. Cabochard, is it enough? Milica coming over the wall. Comp still alive. 3v3.
That was huge from Skeanz. He managed to find his way into the backline again and destroy Carzzy. That is 2 back-to-back fights that Skeanz on this Lee Sin is pulling out his best Shadow impression to ruin an AD carry's life.
Now you get the Lee Sin, you can always find the angle. This man's even going for a death stance to follow. He knows what he needs to do in this game and is most certainly killing that Ezreal every chance he gets. That said, Vitality, not a big enough advantage here to go for the Baron. They don't feel comfortable, so we'll just be the red buff donated over LeBlanc as we take a look at this one more time.
So it starts out, obviously, with Humanoid getting a huge chunk on Labrov, and he decides that he wants to go for the assassination here. Now, the hook connects on Carzzy, and the E keeps him still and gives a good big chunk. But then there's Skeanz, again, finds Carzzy to hand deliver him to Milica's waiting arms. This is kind of the synergy that Vitality were hoping to have in spring, but obviously just got blocked on trying to get Milica to start for the team.
In a rare miscommunication from MAD in the fight where Kaiser flashes forward because he thinks all that matters is comps, but the second he leaves the side of his carries, he does not have the staggering blow to interrupt the Lee Sin, and it just makes it so easy for them to set up that 1-2 punch.
I think they just need to play it slow. I think if MAD Lions comms, what's probably happening is exactly what you're saying, Drakos, where it's like, okay, Kaiser, you actually just need to stand next to Humanoid and Carzzy and just auto-attack or tap anyone who comes back at them and let them play the fight very slow, and then it's going to be about whose frontline falls first. Now, obviously, Vitality have a traditional tank.
This is the problem, Froskurinn, is that every time the fight starts, Humanoid has another item.
Skeanz is also behind them again.
Oh, no. Skeanz, if he can find the flank, but Comp is the one who's going to be in trouble here. Pillar, he's isolated. There's
Cabochard.
no way for him to get out of this. He's just going to get shut down instantly. That's Void Stab, Death Cap, that's 4-item Orianna.
Cabo TP'd from Baron Pit.
He's cutting the wave?
No, he was trying to find a flank, but then Comp just got killed.
Well, and just like that, the massive early lead for Vitality, Milica and Skeanz were able to find it. Cabo was able to bring it home with a beautiful flank, but in in a moment, an instant, 1 or 2 fights back to back, and it all turns. Maybe they've got a chance here. Cabo gonna duck back, but Milica to the backside. He wants to shut down Carzzy, but he can't jump back too quick. Does manage to find one. Humanoid still in the midst of everything. Kaiser now in trouble. Cabo, what can he get done? Milica's trying to throw a bit more. Double kill. Mad Lions able to grab an inhibitor, but overstaying their welcome. Can Vitality turn it back and get a Baron out of this? It doesn't look like it. Mad Lions waiting in the darkness. If Labrov steps forward here, he might just get one shot. Big damage coming in. Orome still terrifying to deal with. Skeanz going in, going for the kick, but no, the pillar interrupts it. Now running away for this one. Skeanz can't jump back in. Milica's trying to find his way to the back line. Humanoid, massive damage, but they can't finish the job. They managed to take down Shadow, but Orome and Humanoid are still alive. Vitality, this is their chance to turn to the Baron. They've got the Ocean Soul. They keep those health bars up. They might be able to get the objectives that they need to break open the base of MAD.
But reminder, there are 2 teleports that are available for Orome as well as Humanoid. Humanoid's definitely going to go back, refresh himself, and then try to come into this. Do Mad Lions try to commit to the Elder, or do they try to stop the Baron?
We've seen a lot of steals today. Carzzy has ult. It shouldn't be possible, but we've seen it happen before.
Oh, he's got no distortion.
Milica, he's got the copy. That's the good news.
I hate that champion.
But in the meantime, Mad Lions, 2 strongest members have started this one up. The Baron secured, completely uncontested. Vitality grabbed that one, they can turn right back to the Elder. They will not be in a great position though. They have to fight into Mad Lions. This is the worst possible position against an Orianna GP, and Mad Lions are gonna start this fight off by getting the Elder. Much more massive combat buff. Cabochard getting lower and lower. If he drops too low, he's gonna get one shot. Boom! Dragon comes down. The shutdown there, Vitality not getting the better end of that trade.
Oh, and it is such a small, the split-second decisions. Vitality got stalled out into the mid-game. They tried to brute force into the bot lane, and they couldn't do it. They were like, do we take the Baron? Do we not set up the Baron? And it's in their indecisiveness that Mad Lions have been able to climb back into this game. And the difference is that Mad Lions are so decisive with the TPs. We can't contest Baron. We are going for the Elder. They now have the Elder. They're now knocking on the base doors. And Vitality was so close. Now, it's not over yet, but Mad Lions are certainly going to try to end it.
Baron buff will help strengthen the minions, will help slow the push for a brief moment. A massive wave here. Carzzy raining down some good damage, and Orome completely unafraid just starts to whack on the tower. One last tower standing between Mad and victory here. But they're going to back away. They're not going to risk anything. They've been in enough close, scrappy fights with Vitality this game. They're not going to risk anything else on another one.
And again, that's maybe Mad Lions respecting the fact that, calm down, we could secure sole first place here. We could secure a free ticket to Worlds here. Let's play this one slow, not try to pull everything onto the Elder and look for the other chance, because they're feeling confident that they're outscaling Vitality. You see the damage Humanoid's doing.
And the thing is we've talked a lot about this game that it hasn't looked like a #1 team versus a #9 team. But the thing that we can credit Mad Lions for is staying the course, is not letting themselves fall any further behind, stemming the bleeding, and finding opportunities to come back. That said, when both buffs fall away, we're back to dead even gold. We've got better scaling, no doubt, on the side of Mad Lions, but we've got an Ocean Soul on the side of Vitality. So this is going to be one wild set of final fights.
It's always going to come down to the execution here. Does Milica find Carzzy or Humanoid in the backline? Does Skeanz find Carzzy? He's still made this Lee Sin really pop off. We used to say, or compliment Shadow, that Shadow's greatest asset is that he can make Lee Sin look relevant at all stages of the game. Skeanz has had 2 phenomenal picks on Carzzy. If he can get a third, maybe he can be the hero. Maybe he can have that moment where he proves to everyone what this Vitality roster was supposed to be and not get laughed back to the LFL.
And that's brutal, but that is the kind of pressure that they put him under when they brought him back onto the lineup in a time where they had to win so many games just to contest for playoffs here. But comp, for now, uncontested. Mad Lions backing. They are going to have home guard buff to run in here. But just giving up that tower as Vitality are on the last few seconds of their Baron. Pillar goes down, but will not interrupt the Lantern. And both teams clearly want to poke, they want to spar, but they both know that if they pick the wrong place to start an absolute team fight, a total team fight, a full 5-on-5, that the game will just immediately end.
I will say, though, that Vitality's comp, I think, feels a bit better, that if there is just kind of like a random skirmish, that they have more mobility on champions like Lee Sin and LeBlanc to kind of hit and run League of Legends, whereas you're going to constantly see Mad Lions in just this grouped up death ball comp.
I think the big thing is we look at this fight to come, the important thing to know is that there's a stopwatch for Carzzy. Humanoid, I actually think, is the primary target. Cabo appears to have identified that. They are going to walk away. He's been spotted out. He's going to dunk Shadow right back down. If they can delete the Trundle before the fight starts, it's good news. But now Carzzy throwing down decent damage over the wall. Orome in the backside as well. Vitality getting herded back into MAD Lions' base. This is definitely not the start to the fight that they wanted. Cabo's ult already gone. LeBlanc gets a pretty good hook, but it's only onto Shadow. So Shadow will give his life. No, ticking, burning. Milica wants to find it, but has he overcommitted for the kill there. Now he's dashing back in. Milica's absolutely fearless. He's dancing around Humanoid. Humanoid just could not hit the LeBlanc, and now the fight is falling apart. Vitality pulling it together when it counts the most. They found the double kill. MAD Lions are now zoned out of their own base. If Vitality can get a creep weave here, they can just end the game. Milica now on a rampage. Clean LeBlanc team fight. He could not be hit.
They've done it. Vitality have done it. Look, Milica is going to chase Orome, make sure that he can't give it back to base. It is just Carzzy right now with 40 seconds of Humanoid.
Try and start the back.
Got it.
Back from Skeanz, right when it matters. They managed to find it. They're going to finish him with the K-Dalt as well. Comp on a killing spree. Orome trying to find Milica, trying to find something, but Vitality are the team that will find a win from 9th place to taking on the #1 team in the league. Vitality keep their playoffs hopes alive, and MAD Lions will be knocked down to tie with Rogue.
European rookies, man. I don't know what to tell you. That is wild. Yes, Cabochard made the initial play to get Vitality back into it, but that was Milica and Skeanz in those final team fights. The fact that Milica just broke Humanoid's ankles?
I know this is a special request, and I know sometimes we're very quick to getting to break, but if possible, observers, if possible, production, can we please see that last fight from Milica? Because I just assumed he was outplaying everyone because my eyes were not fast enough to follow him. Because Humanoid threw the ball to match where the LeBlanc was. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. You guys are going to get to see it for yourself. This was nasty. Nasty from Milica.
But yes, Vitality, Milica, Skeanz, Comp, everyone definitely stepped up. Huge congratulations to the squad. That was massive. Again, they may have actually just saved their playoff dreams with that one, as the bottom of the table seems to be just like throwing everything up in the air. Here, Rogue breathed a sigh of relief, like, oh, we're still in this one.
That's the best news Rogue's got all day, most certainly. But let's take a look at this team fight one more time. The only person I want you to watch is Milica.
And I do have to say, though, Humanoid has done this several times, where he's trying to assassinate people with the Shockwave instead of trying to wait for the big team fighting Shockwave, which is something to watch for, because probably not the best idea. There's the ball.
Okay, one dash, double dash, back. Humanoid throws the ball, and nope, sorry! Carzzy goes into stopwatch at the right exact moment to stop himself from being able to deal any damage back to the LeBlanc. That was just clean from Milica, and Humanoid just not respecting the potential for LeBlanc to reposition again. Wow. Anyway, your key player of the game, your options are Skeanz, Milica, or Comp, but at the end of the day,
European rookies.
European League of Legends. Shit's crazy. I don't know what to tell you. Skeanz, Milica, Comp, you can vote. I think it's still Skeanz, despite how much I love Milica in that last play.
Yeah,
but,
think of how many team fights Skeanz found Carzzy.
Ocean Soul, very strong. Playmaking, even stronger. I love to see this from rookie players. But coming up next, it's the clash of the former Titans. You've seen what the new Titans look like. Let's take a look at the old ones, as G2 and Fnatic are going to be hitting the Rift.
You don't have a chance against me. I can calculate 90 trillion moves in advance. Not fair. Not fair.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back, everyone, to the LEC, where I have Milica here from Vitality after taking down the #1 team, MAD Lions. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm good, thank you. Can you please tell me how to pronounce your nickname correctly? Because I've gotten some tweets about it.
Oh, really? It's Milica.
Milica. Okay.
I mean, I really don't mind how people call me, you know, Milica, Milica. I mean, it's mostly for the fans, I guess, because they get pretty triggered. But for me, like, I personally don't mind.
Okay, no problem. But I'll try to do my best. Milica. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, first up, congratulations. A huge victory for you, and you also had a huge performance. But it was also kind of tricky because you got ahead, and then it became so difficult. What made this game so difficult to close out?
I don't know. I felt like we got pretty behind on top side. They got the first turret with full plates because we kind of TP'd bot, but we didn't get much. We only got like 2 kills. So I feel like we weren't actually that ahead. We were like 1k ahead, maximum 2k. So I think we should be a bit more ahead for the game to be like much cleaner. But since we kind of didn't do it properly, I think that's why it looked this how to say?
Close.
Yeah, close, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, actually, because it was closer than I was making it out to be, and it seemed a hard game to play. So what do you think the key was in those final team fights? We just took a look, actually, at a replay where Daniel Drakos was just saying, Milica, look at him, he's going in and out with LeBlanc. Talk to me about how you played those late game team fights.
I mean, I think the key was that Sett has a really good flank with TP or just like with pushing sideline and coming from behind, and me, of course, being on flank as well, while our trio contests the prio. So I think we kind of did it improperly, I would say. We could have done it better, but in the end, it worked out fine.
Yes, it did. Not that many people are going necessarily for LeBlanc. She has kind of an awkward spot in the meta, I would say. What can you say about her current spot in the meta and itemization?
I mean, I would say like she's decent in the meta. Of course, like champions like Orianna, Syndra, Zoe are more blind pickable, you know, but if you play properly around it, like Skeanz did, I think it can do a lot of work. And if you snowball, there's nothing much you can do. Like she has a lot of tempo with her W. Like she's all over the map, and yeah. And about itemization, I mean, it's pretty like pretty same like most of the assassins. I would say like Luden into depends. You know, you can go for the Morella component orb into Rabadon, or you can just finish the void stuff if you feel like they have a lot of magic resist, like Ezreal had the Dead Dance and Orianna Mercs. There was also like a GP and the Trundle, they also built a lot of MR, so if you are playing against those type of champs that build that, you should go for the void third.
Okay, and also, of course, be cognizant of kind of the setup and make sure that you have other champions that can play with the LeBlanc. I want to talk a little bit. Of course. I want to talk a little bit about you personally. Sorry, the delay always messes me up.
Yeah.
We were waiting for your arrival in the LEC for so long. We of course had the visa issues, and there was so much hype about you finally being able to play. How do you think you've done so far? How do you reflect on your own performance?
I mean, personally, I wouldn't say I'm too satisfied, you know, because I'm pretty sure I had like a moment where if I did better individually, you know, I could have carried the games. You know, like a few quirky games, I was extremely ahead and I just didn't manage to do it. But overall, I think our like biggest issue was that we changed a lot of players. You know, we had we didn't have like a constant base, so we couldn't really get that feeling of how like my teammates play and how I play from their perspective, you know. And I think it's kind of coming too late, and I hope we actually manage to go in playoffs and show what actually we can like do, you know.
Yeah, you mentioned it there, perhaps too late. You are one of the teams that are in one of the most difficult positions to get to playoffs, but it is still possible. Your opponents next week are Schalke, Rogue, and Misfits. Can you just talk to me about can you just talk to me about that mindset, knowing that it's all or nothing for next week?
I mean, I don't think anyone really thinks about it too much, you know. We just know that we need to win, you know, but it's not like we kind of pressure ourselves too much for it. I think, I don't know, yesterday Com said in his post-game review that we kind of got our confidence back, and that it's all on us, basically. I feel like we can do it, and if we get to playoffs, I think we will show what we actually can do.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem at all. And that was the caster for some reason. Thank you very much, Milica. Good luck next week. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it is Fnatic versus G2.
Thank you. Thank you for the interview.
No problem.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
This is what peak League of Legends looked like. One of these teams has always dominated domestically. But this summer has been different.
Reckless tries to dive in the exhaust, but here's the hero's entrance, but he's going to be the last one standing as Reckless versus the world. He's just too far forward, now he's going to put some damage down to the Dreams, but the Emperor survived from Abadage.
Fnatic and G2 just had the wrong approach coming into the split. I think it's time for us to like recalibrate.
I don't really think much about not making playoffs. We are a strong enough team that should never happen.